to another edition of Across the AMC. I'm your host, Scott Barker, Sports Information Director for the American Midwest Conference. We have another exciting show lined up today as we will take a look at recaps and previews from the AMC Games of the Week, summaries of all fall sports, Players of the Week, NAIA Rankings update, and our AMC ASA interview. We will begin by taking a look at last week's AMC Volleyball Game of the Week. Missouri Baptist hosted Columbia in a top 5 battle, and the Spartans prevailed 3-2, winning set 1, 25-20, dropping set 2, 25-13. Then they won set 3, 27-25, lost set 4, 25-21, and then won the decisive set 5, 15-9. The Spartans were led by Mallory Moran's 19 kills and Megan Huffman's 48 assists. The Cougars received 19 kills from Caroline Clifford and 50 assists from Manuela Vargas. This week's Game of the Week featured the Columbia Cougars traveling to Fulton, Missouri to take on the William Woods Owls. This was a rematch of the 2017 AMC Women's Volleyball Tournament semifinals. Just like that game in the semifinals, the Cougars got the best of the Owls, defeating them in 3 sets, 25-10, 25-21, and 25-16. Kirsten Anderson led the way for the Cougars with 12 kills, while Manuela Vargas dished out 35 assists, and Titus Andrade recorded 12 digs for the Cougars. For the Owls, Kate Dorhoff led the team with 9 kills, and Remy Johnson had a team-high 17 assists. With the win, the Cougars moved to 23-2 overall and 7-1 in the AMC. William Woods fell to 16-8 overall and 7-1 in conference play. Now let's look at other scores from the past week. Missouri Baptist remained unbeaten in conference play, and Park picked up a pair of sweeps to stay undefeated overall. As we look at the updated volleyball standings, Park, Missouri Baptist, Columbia, and William Woods have all clinched spots in the AMC Volleyball Postseason Tournament. Coming up next on Across the AMC, we will take a look at the men's soccer Game of the Week from the past week, as well as a preview of this week's Game of the Week. Back to Across the AMC. I'm your host, Scott Barker, Sports Information Director for the American Midwest Conference. Last Friday, Williams, Baptist, and Park met in the AMC Men's Soccer Game of the Week. The Pirates used 2 second-half goals to knock off Williams Baptist 3-1. 3 different players scored a goal for the Pirates, and Matthias Bergami scored the Eagles' lone goal. On Saturday, Park hosts Lyon in the AMC Men's Soccer Game of the Week. The Scots entered the game with a 6-6 overall record and 4-3 in the conference standings. Lyon has won 2 straight matches entering the game. Park is currently 5-4-1 overall and 4-2-1 in the conference play. The Pirates have been on a roll lately, winning 4 straight and carry an unbeaten streak of 5 games. Looking at scores from this past week, Missouri Baptist picked up a pair of wins, and William Woods and Columbia remained unbeaten in conference action. Looking at the conference standings, Columbia remains at the top with 18 points, Missouri Baptist and William Woods right behind with 16 points. Looking at this week's schedule, which is highlighted by the Game of the Week between Park and Lyon, and a big contest in Columbia as the Cougars host Missouri Baptist. Making our way into women's soccer, Freed-Hardeman Lady Lions knocked off the Central Baptist Mustangs in the AMC Women's Soccer Game of the Week this past week. 5 different players scored a goal in the game for Freed-Hardeman, who won the game 5-1. The Lady Lions outshot the Mustangs 20-3 in the contest. Katie Johnson scored the Mustangs' lone goal, and Sarah Calzada made 5 stops for the Mustangs. This week's AMC Women's Soccer Game of the Week features 2 teams who are in the top 3 in the AMC standings. Missouri Baptist travels to Columbia to face the Cougars, and the Cougars are atop the standings with 21 points, while Missouri Baptist is right behind with 20 points. Looking ahead at this week's schedule, Columbia hosts Missouri Baptist in a top 3 conference showdown that highlights this week's conference slate. As we take a look at the women's soccer scores from the past week, Columbian Park remained in a tie for first place as both teams picked up a pair of wins. Missouri Baptist kept pace with a win on Saturday and a win on Wednesday. That takes us into the women's soccer standings. 3 teams have 20 or more points, as Columbian Park are tied with 21 and Missouri Baptist is at 20. We will take another commercial break, and when we return, we will look at what happened in cross country. Welcome back to Across the AMC. I'm your host, Scott Barker, Sports Information Director for the American Midwest Conference. This past week, 5 teams were on the course for cross country. On the men's side, Columbia finished 5th and Missouri Baptist 6th at the Gary Stoner Invitational in Fayette, Missouri. Reed Hardman completed a 9th place finish at the Fast Cats Classic in Owensboro, Kentucky. For the women, Missouri Baptist finished 2nd at the Gary Stoner Invitational and Williams Baptist finished 4th at the University of Ozarks Invite. More teams are in action this Saturday as William Woods, Williams Baptist, Stevens, and Lindenwood Belleville will all take part in the Cowbell Classic in Elsa, Illinois. Central Baptist and Lyon will be competing at the Little Rock Invitational in Little Rock, Arkansas. This week's AMC Association of Student Athletes interview is with Columbia College cross country and track and field runner Jacob Jenkins. All right, we're here with Jacob from Columbia College. Jacob, thank you for joining us. Start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and your sport.
So I'm a sophomore on the cross country and track team, and I'm majoring in biology.
What's your PR?
PR for AK? Not very good at 29.50.
Is cross country or track and field your better sport?
Track and field is probably a better sport.
What events do you track?
I used to do the 4 and 8 in high school, but they moved me to the mile this year.
What made you choose Columbia College?
Probably the science program, and then I really liked when I came out here on my visit, and I met the cross country team, and really good group of guys, and then also my older brother came out here to the track team. So
You from around here?
no, I'm from New Mexico.
Oh wow. So you learned about Columbia College through your brother?
Yeah.
So what makes you want to get involved with your student organization?
The gain of leadership experience, looking up for my future career goals, and then hoping to get my school going out there for the conference and for the school.
Absolutely. What are your goals after graduation?
Looking to pursue a career in orthodontist in the Air Force.
Awesome. Any fun facts about yourself?
I get a lot of weird, they're not weird nicknames, but I just get a lot of nicknames, I guess, based on my hairstyles. They used to call me Frozone, and now they call me Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The way my hair was.
Cool. So being from New Mexico, what's the biggest difference between there and here? I mean, what do you have to adapt?
The temperature and humidity. Because in New Mexico it's just like 100 degrees, but like dry heat, where it's like soaking material, so it's so much more.
Yeah.
And then the winter is awful here.
Yeah, don't like it. Not a fan of the snow.
Not at all.
What's something that's different here that you like better than New Mexico?
I like the elevation, I guess, for running, that helps. And then I like this major sports team that you guys have in Missouri. We don't have a pro sports team. In New Mexico, we have semi-pro.
Thank you, Jacob. We will take our last break, and when we return, we will look at AMC Players of the Week and look at the updated NAIA Ratings. back to Across the AMC. I'm your host, Scott Barker, Sports Information Director for the American Midwest Conference. On Monday, the AMC released another round of Players of the Week. For men's soccer, Lions swept both awards as Gianni Santon made 2 saves in the double overtime win over Hannibal LaGrange, and Emmanuel Santos scored the golden goal game winner, helping the Scots to the 1-0 win. On the women's side, Joyce Barbosa was named Offensive Player of the Week after notching a hat trick in the Scots' 5-2 win over Hannibal LaGrange. William Woods' Abby Prather-Turner was named Defensive Player of the Week as she anchored the defense that only allowed 2 shots over the course of 2 games. Missouri Baptist took 2 of the 3 volleyball awards. Katerina Sigrani took home her 2nd consecutive Attacker of the Week after accumulating 24 kills in 7 sets, including 15 against number 3 Columbia. Her teammate Rachel Lubers was named Defensive Player of the Week after 35 digs with 23 digs against Columbia. The final volleyball award went to Park's Donna Gomes, as Gomes led the Pirates to 3 more victories by averaging 11.89 assists per set and had a season-high 47 assists against Baker. Freshman Maria Zerdowska of William Woods was named AMC Women's Golfer of the Week after shooting a 159 over 2 rounds and winning the individual title at the Columbia College Cougar Classic. Zerdowska has won the weekly award 3 times this season. Evan Schartzer from Park won the Columbia College Cougar Classic with a 1 under par 141 over 36 holes. The senior was the only golfer under par, and this was his first career AMC Men's Golfer of the Week award. Tyler Alverson was named AMC Men's Cross Country Runner of the Week for the 6th time in his career and the 3rd time this season. Alverson finished 2nd out of 152 runners at the Fast Cats Classic in Owensboro, Kentucky. Alverson ran the 8K course in a time of 26 minutes and 21 seconds. Emily Bayer of Missouri Baptist took home her first career AMC Women's Cross Country Runner of the Week after running a 5K time in 20 minutes and finishing 4th out of 45 at the Gary Stoner Invitational. On Tuesday, the NAIA released another edition of the Men's and Women's Soccer Coaches Top 25 poll. For the men, William Woods was the highest AMC school with 54 points and receiving votes, while Columbia dropped out of the top 25 for the first time this season. The Cougars are receiving votes and have 11 points. On the women's side, Columbia continues to be the lone AMC school in the top 25 as the Cougars held steady from last week at number 19. The NAIA also released its cross-country ratings on Wednesday as the Columbia men fell 3 spots to number 10, and the Columbia women's team continues to receive votes. Fans, be sure to sign up for text and email alerts so you don't miss any news from the AMC. Go to amcsportsonline.com/alerts or go to the amcsportsonline.com under the AMC Links tab to sign up. Don't forget to follow the AMC on all 3 major social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at AMC Sports Online and on Twitter at AMC Sports. That concludes this week's show. There will not be a show next week as Little and Belleville will be hosting a Champions of Character Summit for all 13 schools. Fans, be on the lookout the following week for a revamped weekly show. Again, I am your host, Scott Barker, Sports Information Director for the American Midwest Conference, and thanks for watching.